the Toronto Thunderbirds taking on the Houston Gunners.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On first down, he'll drop to throw. A giant hole up the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Thunderbirds march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first-quarter lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
An extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll set up to throw. Flushed up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Room to run past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 105 yards.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, Now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And down to the 36-yard line here. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Hands it off out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game, because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
The drive starts with a completion left side, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. Now a handoff looking right. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. And I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go, because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Now they try the right side here. And they string that play out nicely. He's stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10.
Now a handoff looking right. Gets past one man. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Thunderbirds are able to extend their lead.
And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now the try here for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for Cooper. That's complete.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now a throw here, hauled in. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And that's all about recognition right there because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down. But they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Looking to throw. Dancing under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack, and that makes things tougher here on 3rd and goal.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards.
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the Colts have opened it up a bit, leading by 2 scores. So a change of possession here on the punt. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, and it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. Trevor Lawrence, a touchdown pass in that first half. We'll stay in the AFC South as we make the trip to Houston to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Carolina Panthers. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what a referee says. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Back to throw again. And incomplete. Cooper again the target, and it's 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
2nd and 2, 1st down marker at the 5-yard line.
Steps up, and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brandon, never ceases to amaze me just how fast these defensive ends are in the game nowadays. Part of that is what we've seen in college football, where they've gotten smaller and faster on the defensive side of the ball. But they brought that to the NFL because it is hard for an offensive lineman to keep them away from the quarterback.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Gunners have cut it back within a score.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now left side on the swing pass. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On play action, they'll throw. Here's Freiermuth again. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're peeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
2nd and 7.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Thunderbirds add 6 to their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Houston's offense taking over again.
They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's got this down to the 35.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. Now they try the right side here. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
82 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Second and 9 now.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Houston set to take over.
And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Back to throw now on 1st down. This one caught left side by Cooper. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Working with his 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second and 2. Flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. Oh, but there is a marker on the field. So now the question, who is this on? And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Slide for the PAT.
And the lead will shrink to 6. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Yeah, he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
It's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Thunderbirds add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
They'll set up to throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They're going to look to throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So that challenge, a successful one.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Gunners have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 5, and time a huge factor. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Got to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And he comes back with one complete. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Taking it about the 1. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So now the story changes. Trailing by 3 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A little under 40 seconds to go. Their undefeated season, it's in danger unless they can score here as they've got a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. They'll look to throw. That's to Freiermuth. Oh, and what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, and he'll wind up losing yardage on the play. You cannot have that. And also, 4th down now. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for our visitors, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.